Matthew Henry's Commentary on the Whole Bible. Numbers 26. This book is called Numbers from the numberings of the children of Israel, of which it gives an account. Once they were numbered at Mount Sinai, in the first year after they came out of Egypt, which we had an account of, chapters 1 and 2. And now a second time they were numbered in the plains of Moab, just before they entered Canaan, and of this we have an account in this chapter. We have 1. Orders given for the doing of it, verses 1 to 4. 2. A register of the families and numbers of each tribe, verses 5 to 50, and the sum total, version 51. 3. Direction given to divide the land among them, verses 52 to 56. 4. The families and numbers of the Levites by themselves, verses 57 to 62. 5. Notice taken of the fulfilling of the threatening and the death of all those that were first numbered, verses 63 to 65, and to this there seems to have been a special regard in the taking and keeping of this account. The numbering of the people, 1452 BC. 1. And it came to pass after the plague, that the Lord spake unto Moses, and unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying, 2. Take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and upward, throughout their father's house, all that are able to go to war in Israel. 3. And Moses and Eleazar the priest spake with them in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, For take the sum of the people, from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt. Observe here, 1. That Moses did not number the people, but when God commanded him. David in his time did it without a command, and paid dearly for it. God was Israel's king, and he would not have this act of authority done, but by his express orders. Moses, perhaps, by this time, had heard of the blessing with which Balaam was constrained, sorely against his will, to bless Israel, and particularly the notice he took of their numbers, and he was sufficiently pleased with that general testimony borne to this instance of their strength and honor by an adversary, though he knew not their numbers exactly, till God now appointed him to take the sum of them. 2. Eleazar was joined in commission with him, as Aaron had been before, by which God honored Eleazar before the elders of his people, and confirmed his succession. 3. It was presently after the plague that this account was ordered to be taken, to show that though God had in justice contended with them by that sweeping pestilence, yet he had not made a full end, nor would he utterly cast them off. God's Israel shall not be ruined, though it be severely rebuked. 4. They were now to go by the same rule that they had gone by in the former numbering, counting those only that were able to go forth to war, for this was the service now before them. 5. Reuben, the eldest son of Israel, the children of Reuben, Hanok, of whom cometh the family of the Hanokites, of Palu, the family of the Paluites. 6. Of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. 7. These are the families of the Reubenites, and they that were numbered of them were 40,730. 8. And the sons of Palu, Eliab. 9. And the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. This is the Dathan and Abiram, which were famous in the congregation, who strove against Moses, and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when they strove against the Lord. 10. And the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed them up together with Korah, when that company died, what time the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. 11. Notwithstanding the children of Korah died not. 12. The sons of Simeon after their families, of Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites, of Jamin, the family of the Jaminites, of Jachin, the family of the Jachanites. 13. Of Zerah, the family of the Zarites, of Shaul, the family of the Shaulites. 14. These are the families of the Simonites, 20 and 2,200. 15. The children of Gad after their families, of Zephon, the family of the Zephonites, of Haggi, the family of the Haggites, of Shuni, the family of the Shunites. 16. Of Ozni, the family of the Oznites, of Eri, the family of the Erites. 17. Of Arad, the family of the Aradites, of Areli, the family of the Arelites. 18. These are the families of the children of Gad according to those that were numbered of them, 40,500. 19. The sons of Judah were Er and Onan, and Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. 20. And the sons of Judah after their families were, of Shelah, the family of the Shelonites, of Pharez, the family of the Pharzites, of Zerah, the family of the Zarites. 21 And the sons of Pharez were, of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the family of the Hamulites. 22 These are the families of Judah according to those that were numbered of them, 16,500. 23 Of the sons of Issachar after their families, of Tola, the family of the Tolates, of Puah, the family of the Punites, 24 Of Jashub, the family of the Jashubites, of Shimron, the family of the Shimronites. 25 These are the families of Issachar according to those that were numbered of them, 304,300. 26 Of the sons of Zebulun after their families, of Sered, the family of the Sardites, of Elon, the family of the Elonites, of Yaleel, the family of the Jaleelites. 27 These are the families of the Zebulunites according to those that were numbered of them, 305,500. 28 The sons of Joseph after their families were Manasseh and Ephraim. 29 Of the sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the family of the Machirites, and Machir begot Gilead, of Gilead come the family of the Gileadites. 30 These are the sons of Gilead, of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites, of Helek, the family of the Helekites, 31 And of Asriel, the family of the Asrielites, and of Shechem, the family of the Shechemites, 32 And of Shemida, the family of the Shemidates, and of Hepher, the family of the Hepherites. 33 And Zelophehad the son of Hepher had no sons, but daughters, and the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahlah, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. 34 These are the families of Manasseh, and those that were numbered of them, 50,700. 35 These are the sons of Ephraim after their families, of Shuthelah, the family of the Shuthalites, of Becher, the family of the Bachrites, of Tahan, the family of the Tahanites. 36 And these are the sons of Shuthelah, of Aaron, the family of the Aaronites. 37 These are the families of the sons of Ephraim according to those that were numbered of them, 30,500. These are the sons of Joseph after their families. 38 The sons of Benjamin after their families, of Bela, the family of the Belates, of Ashbel, the family of the Ashbelites, of Ahiram, the family of the Ahiramites, 39 Of Shupham, the family of the Shuphamites, of Hupham, the family of the Huphamites. 40 And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman, of Ard, the family of the Ardites, and of Naaman, the family of the Naamites. 41 These are the sons of Benjamin after their families, and they that were numbered of them were 40,500. 42 These are the sons of Dan after their families, of Shuham, the family of the Shuhamites. These are the families of Dan after their families. 43 All the families of the Shuhamites, according to those that were numbered of them, were 304,400. 44 Of the children of Asher after their families, of Jimnah, the family of the Jimnites, of Jeshui, the family of the Jesuits, of Beriah, the family of the Beriites. 45 Of the sons of Beriah, of Heber, the family of the Heberites, of Malchiel, the family of the Malchielites. 46 And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. 47 These are the families of the sons of Asher according to those that were numbered of them, who were 50,400. 48 Of the sons of Naphtali after their families, of Jaziel, the family of the Jazelites, of Guni, the family of the Gunites, 49 Of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites, of Shillem, the family of the Shillemites. 50 These are the families of Naphtali according to their families, and they that were numbered of them were 45,400. 51 These were the numbered of the children of Israel, 600,000 and 1,730. This is the register of the tribes as they were now enrolled, in the same order that they were numbered in chapter 1. Observe. 1. The account that is here kept of the families of each tribe, which must not be understood of such as we call families, those that live in a house together, but such as were the descendants of the several sons of the patriarchs, by whose names, in honor of them, their posterity distinguished themselves, and one another. The families of the 12 tribes are thus numbered, of Dan, but one, for Dan had but one son, and yet that tribe was the most numerous of all except Judah, verses 42 and 43. Its beginning was small, but its latter end greatly increased. Zebulun was divided into 3 families, Ephraim into 4, Issachar into 4, Naphtali into 4, and Reuben into 4. Judah, Simeon, and Asher had 5 families apiece, Gad and Benjamin 7 apiece, and Manasseh 8. Benjamin brought 10 sons into Egypt, Genesis 46 verse 21, but 3 of them, it seems, either died childless or their families were extinct, for here we find 7 only of those names preserved, and that whole tribe none of the most numerous, for providence, in the building up of families and nations, does not tie itself to probabilities. The barren hath borne 7, and she that hath many children has waxed feeble, 1 Samuel 2 verse 5. 2. The numbers of each tribe. And here our best entertainment will be to compare these numbers with those when they were numbered at Mount Sinai. The sum total was nearly the same, they were now 18-20 fewer than they were then, yet 7 of the tribes had increased in number. Judah had increased 1,900, Issachar 9,900, Zebulun 3,100, Manasseh 20,500, Benjamin 10,200, Daniel 1,700, and Asher 11,900. But the other 5 had decreased more than to balance that increase. Reuben had decreased 2,770, Simeon 37,100, Gad 5,150, Ephraim 8,000, and Naphtali 8,000. In this account we may observe 1. That all the 3 tribes that were encamped under the standard of Judah, who was the ancestor of Christ, had increased, for his church shall be edified and multiplied. 2. That none of the tribes had increased so much as that of Manasseh, which in the former account was the smallest of all the tribes, only 32,200, while here it is one of the most considerable, and that of his brother Ephraim, which there was numerous, is here one of the least. Jacob had crossed hands upon their heads, and had preferred Ephraim before Manasseh, which perhaps the Ephraimites had prided themselves too much in, and had trampled upon their brethren the Manassites, but, when the Lord saw that Manasseh was despised, he thus multiplied him exceedingly, for it is his glory to help the weakest, and raise up those that are cast down. 3. That none of the tribes decreased so much as Simeon did, from 59,300, it such to 22,200, little more than a third part of what it was. One whole family of that tribe, namely Ohad, mentioned Exodus 6 verse 15, was extinct in the wilderness. Hence Simeon is not mentioned in Moses' blessing, Deuteronomy 33, and the lot of that tribe in Canaan was inconsiderable, only a canton out of Judah's lot, Joshua 19 verse 9. Some conjecture that most of those 24,000 who were cut off by the plague for the iniquity of Peor were of that tribe, for Zimri, who was a ringleader in that iniquity, was a prince of that tribe, many of whom therefore were influenced by his example to follow his pernicious ways. 3. In the account of the tribe of Reuben mention is made of the rebellion of Dathan and Abiram, who were of that tribe, in confederacy with Korah a Levite, verses 9-11. Though the story had been largely related but a few chapters before, yet here it comes in again, as fit to be had in remembrance and thought of by posterity, whenever they looked into their pedigree and pleased themselves with the antiquity of their families and the glory of their ancestors, that they might call themselves a seed of evildoers. 2 things are here said of them. 1. That they had been famous in the congregation, verse 9. Probably they were remarkable for their ingenuity, activity, and fitness for business, that Dathan and Abiram that might have been advanced in due time under God and Moses, but their ambitious spirits put them upon striving against God and Moses, and when they quarreled with the one they quarreled with the other. And what was the issue? 2. Those that might have been famous were made infamous, they became a sign, verse 10. They were made monuments of divine justice, God, in their ruin, showed himself glorious in holiness, and so they were set up for a warning to all others, in all ages, to take heed of treading in the steps of their pride and rebellion. Notice is here taken of the preservation of the children of Korah, verse 11, they died not, as the children of Dathan and Abiram did, doubtless because they kept themselves pure from the infection, and would not join, no, not with their own father, in rebellion. If we partake not of the sins of sinners, we shall not partake of their plagues. These sons of Korah were afterwards, in their posterity, eminently serviceable to the church, being employed by David as singers in the house of the Lord, hence many psalms are said to be for the sons of Korah, and perhaps they were made to bear his name so long after, rather than the name of any other of their ancestors, for warning to themselves, and as an instance of the power of God, which brought those choice fruits even out of that bitter root. The children of families that have been stigmatized should endeavor, by their eminent virtues, to roll away the reproach of their fathers. 52 And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, 53 Unto these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. 54 To many thou shalt give the more inheritance, and to few thou shalt give the less inheritance. To every one shall his inheritance be given according to those that were numbered of him. 55 Notwithstanding the land shall be divided by lot, according to the names of the tribes of their fathers they shall inherit. 56 According to the lot shall the possession thereof be divided between many and few. If any ask why such a particular account is kept of the tribes, and families, and numbers, of the people of Israel, here is an answer for them: as they were multiplied, so they were portioned, not by common providence, but by promise, and for the support of the honor of divine revelation, God will have the fulfilling of the promise taken notice of both in their increase and in their inheritance. When Moses had numbered the people, God did not say, By these shall the land be conquered, but, taking that for granted, he tells him, Unto these shall the land be divided. These that are now registered as the sons of Israel shall be admitted, as it were by copy of court roll, heirs of the land of Canaan. Now, in the distributing, or quartering, of these tribes, 1. The general rule of equity is here prescribed to Moses, that to many he should give more, and to few he should give less. Verse 54, Yet, alas! He was so far from giving any to others, that he must not have any himself, but this direction given to him was intended for Joshua his successor. 2. The application of this general rule was to be determined by lot. Verse 55. Notwithstanding it seems thus to be left to the prudence of their prince, yet the matter must be finally reserved to the providence of their God, in which they must all acquiesce, how much soever it contradicted their policies or inclination. According to the lot shall the possession be divided. As the God of nations, so the God of Israel in particular, reserves it to himself to appoint the bounds of our habitation. And thus Christ, our Joshua, when he was urged to appoint one of his disciples to his right hand, another to his left in his kingdom, acknowledged the sovereignty of his Father in the disposal. It is not mine to give. Joshua must not dispose of inheritances in Canaan according to his own mind. But it shall be given to those for whom it is prepared of my Father. 57 And these are they that were numbered of the Levites after their families: of Gershon, the family of the Gershonites; of Kohath, the family of the Kohathites; of Merari, the family of the Merarites. 58 These are the families of the Levites: the family of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Malites, the family of the Mushites, the family of the Korathites. And Kohath begot Amram. 59 And the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, whom her mother bare to Levi in Egypt, and she bare unto Amram Aaron and Moses, and Miriam their sister. 60 And unto Aaron was born Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. 61 And Nadab and Abihu died, when they offered strange fire before the Lord. 62 And those that were numbered of them were 23,000, all males from a month old and upward, for they were not numbered among the children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given them among the children of Israel. Levi was God's tribe, a tribe that was to have no inheritance with the rest in the land of Canaan, and therefore was not numbered with the rest, but by itself. So it had been numbered in the beginning of this book at Mount Sinai, and therefore came not under the sentence passed upon all that were then numbered, that none of them should enter Canaan, but Caleb and Joshua, 4 of the Levites that were not numbered with them, nor were to go forth to war, Eleazar and Ithamar, and perhaps others who were above 20 years old then, as appears, chapter 4 verses 16 and 28, entered Canaan, and yet this tribe, now at its second numbering, had increased, but 1,000, and was still one of the smallest tribes. Mention is made here of the death of Nadab and Abihu for offering strange fire, as before of the sin and punishment of Korah, because these things happened to them for ensamples. 63 These are they that were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. 64 But among these there was not a man of them whom Moses and Aaron the priest numbered, when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. 65 For the Lord had said of them, They shall surely die in the wilderness. And there was not left a man of them, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. That which is observable in this conclusion of the account is the execution of the sentence passed upon the murmurers, chapter 14 verse 29, that not one of those who were numbered from 20 years old and upwards, and that the Levites were not, but either from a month old or from 30 years old to 50, should enter Canaan, except Caleb and Joshua. In the muster now made, particular directions, no doubt, were given to those of each tribe that were employed in taking the account, to compare these rolls with the former, and to observe whether there were any now left of those that were numbered at Mount Sinai, and it appeared that there was not one man numbered now that was numbered then except Caleb and Joshua, verses 64 and 65. Herein appeared, 1. The righteousness of God and his faithfulness to his threatenings, when once the decree has gone forth. He swore in his wrath, and what he had sworn he performed. Better all those carcasses, had they been 10 times as many, should fall to the ground, than the word of God. Though the rising generation was mixed with them, and many of the guilty and condemned criminals long survived the sentence, even to the last year of the 40, yet they were cut off by some means or other before this muster was made. Those whom God has condemned cannot escape either by losing themselves in a crowd or by the delay of execution. 2. The goodness of God to this people, notwithstanding their provocations. Though that murmuring race was cut off, yet God raised up another generation, which was as numerous as they, that, though they perished, yet the name of Israel might not be cut off, lest the inheritance of the promise should be lost for want of heirs. And, though the number fell a little short what it was at Mount Sinai, yet those now numbered had this advantage, that they were all middle-aged men, between 20 and 60, in the prime of their time for service, and during the 38 years of their wandering and wasting in the wilderness they had an opportunity of acquainting themselves with the laws and ordinances of God, having no business, civil or military, to divert them from those sacred studies, and having Moses and Aaron to instruct them, and God's good Spirit, Nehemiah 9 verse 20. 3. The truth of God, in performing his promise made to Caleb and Joshua. They were to be preserved from falling in this common ruin, and they were so. The arrows of death, though they fly in the dark, do not fly at random, even when they fly thickest, but are directed to the mark intended, and no other. All that are written among the living shall have their lives given them for a prey, in the most dangerous times. Thousands may fall on their right hand, and 10,000s on their left, but they shall escape.